Good afternoon, Stephen. How are you? Thank you for popping in, buddy. We just hanging out. I'm just going to talk about a few things today. You know how I roll over here, Stephen. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, Katie Ann. Okay, wait. Row. I just seen your comment. What did you tag me in? I am a liar and Dem well not letting a nut call me one. Bro, what did you tag me in? Bro, knowledge is power. What are you talking about, lady? Come over here and tell me what you're talking about. Please feel free to do so. Hey, little Dev. There's Poppy in her red Mustang. Dang, Nicole, you're working? Working for a living. Working for a living. Heck yeah. I don't know what Roe is saying. Roe, I'm very confused. Who is the nut that's calling you a liar? Okay? If my name is mentioned in it, darling, come and enlighten me. Someone come and let me know what the fuck is happening. Hey, Graham Cracker Cookie, welcome. You're just right on time for the holidays, Graham Cracker Cookie. Heck yeah, I use graham crackers to make my 7-layer cookies. I do. Where is Ro? Where you at? Come over here and tell me what happened. I'm not a comment person, dang it. Okay, so I'm confused. Don't mean to piss you off, but I tagged you in something. I am a liar, and damn well not letting a nut call me one. Are they calling you a liar about something that you mentioned on my channel? Because other than that, what does that have to do with me? Ma'am, Ro. Okay, the big news. Have you guys heard this big news? Let me share my screen with you, my little crypties. My little crypties. John Paul Miller. Oh, wait, that's not the one I want to show you guys yet. FBI raided John Paul Miller's home. For real. Let me get all this little ad stuff off of there. So, the FBI is searching the home of former Myrtle Beach pastor John Paul Miller. A crowd gathers to watch. Well, hello, Kirst. Okay. No, well, you're not going to have any sound because I'm not playing any sound right yet. I am reading it, Katie Ann. I know that you all are spoiled on videos on social media. I will let you hear the video, I promise. But I'm going to read it first. Okay? Is that okay? Okay. Well, I'll just let you hear it. I will let you hear it. I'm like that. Okay, wait a minute. We got two going on. This is only 38 seconds, but I will let you hear it when this one gets through playing. All right, let's play this one first for Katie Ann. Talking about the one I saw today. Well, that doesn't help me out, Katie. Hey, Debbie. I don't know which one you saw today. But I don't want to make it any bigger because it's just an FBI agent getting into the FBI mobile. They are in the FBI mobile. What in the world are they looking for? He did not appear to be on the scene while the search was taking place. Now, I heard
Picky eater?
something.
Try
Oh, shit.
wellness appetizing entrees, packed with protein
No,
for a
Kitty,
perfect
stop.
meal.
Kitty,
With
stop
proven
it.
natural nutrition to support your cat's health.
Okay, we love cats, but no. Sorry, kitties. So former pastor J.P. Miller's home in the Market Common area of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, was searched on Friday afternoon by FBI agents from the Columbia, South Carolina office. Miller did not appear to be on the scene while the search was taking place. Okay, if you have a minute, here we go. You should.
FBI searching home of former Myrtle Beach pastor John Paul Miller.
Hopefully you can hear
Crowd
that.
gathers to watch. FBI officials on Friday were at the home of former Myrtle Beach pastor John Paul Miller. Officers could be seen at Miller's Azalea Lakes Boulevard home in the Market Common area. Bystanders said that the officers have been in the neighborhood all morning. Miller was not at home when FBI agents began to search the home. As of 3:45 p.m., agents were still at the home. It is unclear why the agents are at Miller's home. Neighbors said they heard that Miller had received a sealed search warrant from law enforcement earlier in the day. Law enforcement on the scene declined to comment on the search. A message left with Miller's attorney was not immediately returned. A cell phone number previously used for John Paul Miller has been changed or disconnected. Kevin Wheeler with the FBI Columbia field office said that he could not provide details, only that a court-authorized law enforcement activity is taking place at Miller's home. The neighborhood was blocked off earlier in the day, but opened up by the early afternoon. In addition to FBI agents, personnel with the Horry County Sheriff's Office were also there. Brennan Kavanaugh, spokesperson for the Horry County Sheriff's Office, said the department is not involved in the investigation and was only there to assist the FBI.
Okay, so this is my opinion so far, and I don't know, right? But I'm going to give my opinion anyway, on what I think it is. I think that somewhere along the lines, there was something happening with the money from that church. You guys see what I'm saying? I think it has to do with that. I don't think it has to do with what happened to Micah, unless, don't forget, wait, the light. I gotta stay out of the light. I'll melt. I'm starting to melt. Okay, woo. I could feel my body. It was like, Lord, get out of the light. Get out of the light, remain calm. Get out of the light, remain calm. Hurry. I think it, I don't know. Maybe people can look at Rico and see if, they can theorize that maybe something like that was going on with this situation. I don't know. Just, me. I just asked too many questions. But don't forget, like I was saying, John Paul Miller loved to keep text and voicemails and all kinds of stuff. He was like that. But he's a preacher, He's close to God. Why do people, let me ask you guys something. Why do people act like, they'll say things like, oh, I'm close to God, and la, la, la. And those are some of the most shady people in the world. It's like they think if they're close to God, that they can do whatever they want. And God to be like, you, my boy, You my boy. Yeah, you my boo. You my boo. You do you, boo. I could see Jesus saying that. You do you, boo. Okay? You just stay down there on, the earth. Do whatever you want. It'll be okay. When you get to the gates, you just tell them that you're my boo, okay? They'll let you in. It ain't gonna matter what you did. Thank you for that, Debbie. I will pin that. I'm gonna pin it, Debbie. I always do. I don't think people care. I don't think people care. And I'm okay. Hang on, Chad's wanting some. Chad's going to vote. I asked him if he wanted me to send security with him. Hey, I need security for my son. He's going to vote. That's scary anymore, going to vote. Who beats up people who go to vote? Or people who work at the polls? I just showed a story last night. Guy freaking punched somebody in the face. An old man. For real. It's like, what the heck is going on? What the heck is going on? Oh, we could do a segment like that. And that's what I'll call it. I'll do a little intro to it. What the heck is going on? That'll be the theme song. That will be the freaking theme song. Thank you, Debbie. Okay, I pinned my Cash App. If anybody gives a crap. If you don't, that's okay too. You have a right not to give a crap. Okay? You're voting next week. Well, do you need security, Stephen? You want us to send you security too? My people are going to be safe when they go vote. Heck yeah. We'll offer security over here. Okay, let's get back to John Paul. Okay, wait. I got to find him. Where are you at, man? Oh, remain calm. You are such a goober. I know that I am. Oh, here. I got it. I found it. I found us. Hold on.
Neighbors and bystanders took to social media to post about the officers at the home. Protesters wearing Justice for Micah t-shirts were at Miller's home and handing out small purple rubber ducks they called Micah ducks. Many of the protesters have also been outside the Solid Rock Church this summer.
I'm sorry, Poppy. Thank you, Poppy. I love you, girl. I do. Thank you for that. I'm sorry. I've been 420 in it, and I just happened to look. I thought it was Debbie. I apologize, Poppy. Thank you, Poppy. You're so sweet. We love Poppy. Debbie's a hoe. I mean, who could possibly say that they have a real true hoe as a mod? Only me. Only me. We got some real true hoes over here. Heck yeah. We could be the hoe gang. We could be the hoe gang over here. Okay. All right. So JP Miller, just to let y'all know also, had a wife by the name of Micah Miller. I'll kind of get into Micah here. Let's finish listening to this first, because my mind just goes 50,000 different directions. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You've got a police officer friend, Stephen. Yeah, Stephen's got a police officer friend. I forgot about that. You did mention that before. Yes, you did. I don't know where H. Davis is, but H. Davis, I got your email and I sent you one back. So now you have my email address. Okay.
Holding signs and chanting. Miller is the former pastor at Solid Rock Church in Myrtle Beach. He has been the subject of allegations for months regarding his relationship with his wife, Micah, who committed suicide in April. In the days following Micah's death, many on social media, along with former members of Solid Rock Church in Market Common, began piecing together a story that portrayed Miller as an abusive husband who drove his wife to suicide. Some have told the Sun News that they believe he killed the 30-year-old himself, despite Robeson County Sheriff's Department's report that he had an alibi the day she died. Micah Miller died April 27, 2024, after being found with a gunshot wound to her head while in her vehicle in a North Carolina state park. Her death has gained national attention and has been discussed and analyzed on social media by family, friends, and church members, as well as non-members. Most of those discussions include #JusticeForMicah. This story was originally published November 1st, 2024.
Okay. So, I will do an update on Micah Miller, and I have Micah Miller content. I think it's titled, I can't remember, but the name's in there if you guys ever want to go look at it. I know I showed a couple times her Facebook where she talked about being in an abusive relationship and stuff like that. So it's very sad, and it's very telling on what she was going through. He did have an alibi. But her family feels that, he definitely had something to do with it. So I wonder what they're looking for, because they're not saying yet. They are not saying. And let me say, I believe the protesters that were there, I don't believe they were loud. I think they were respectful, and they had a purpose for being there. Yeah, hang on, Poppy. I'll look here in just a second. They at one point held hands and said justice for Micah and said prayers. Because let me tell you, John Paul Miller is, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, and I can give my opinion, it's the devil in disguise. If he didn't do it, he drove her to it. Yeah, a lot of people think that way, Katie Ann. A lot of people think that way. So, of course, he wasn't there when they, it was a sealed search warrant. It's sealed. So we're not going to know what they're looking for until they decide to tell us what they were looking for. Lips are sealed. All lips are sealed. What does that license plate say? UT time. Wow. What do you guys think that they're looking for? What do you think they're looking for? Ooh, listen to this. Listen to this. Brennan Kavanaugh, spokesperson for the Horry County Sheriff's Office, said the department is not involved in the investigation and was only there to assist the FBI. What are they? Whoa. That's interesting. That says a lot. That sentence says a lot. The sheriff's office was assisting the FBI. Protesters wearing Justice for Micah t-shirts were at Miller's home handing out small purple rubber ducks they call Micah's ducks. How cute. How cute, little purple rubber ducks. Many of the protesters have also been outside the Solid Rock Church this summer, holding signs and chanting. Wow. I thought the church hired him back. See, I haven't been keeping up with John Paul at all. But I thought the church just gave him time off. But this is saying he's the former pastor. I mean, I have a lot to say about this case. I really do. It's the things that we have seen this man do. I mean, things that creep me out. Yeah, I'm sure, Stephen, that's exactly what happened. But doesn't, Stephen, let me ask you this, you might know this. So, John Paul Miller's dad owned a church, right? Didn't he own a church? And then somehow the Solid Rock Church, who owns that church? Maybe that's what I'm asking. You might know that, Stephen. Because I know that his dad was I really thought that he basically owned the church, or I don't know. I'll have to I've pulled all this up before, and right now I just can't remember. Can't remember right now. In the days following Micah's passing, many on social media, along with former members of the Solid Rock Church in Market Common, began piecing together a story that portrayed Miller as an abusive husband who drove his wife to unalive herself. And that's exactly what we've seen, right? Hey, Catlin. That's exactly what we've seen, right? For real. But they probably, I wonder if they're, I think it has to do with the church and money. But while the FBI is looking for that, maybe they're going to just see what else they find. I felt horrible for Micah. And if you ever look into Micah Miller, I think one thing that I noticed was her love of God. Her love of God. That always stood out to me. And that's what's weird also, because when I see her in that way, to think that she took her own life, and going back and looking at some of her Facebook videos or whatever, for her to do that, it just doesn't vibe with me. But then again, when someone does do that, you may never know the reason. You may never know the reason. So that very sad situation all the way around. Do you guys remember that I showed you yeah, the FBI served a search warrant, Catlin. Yeah, she did, Kirst. Yeah, she did have severe depression. Yeah. That's why I said you may never, when someone does something like that, you may never have the real reason for it. I think with J.P. Miller, it's more of a lot of people feeling like he instigated her to do it. Did they find a body in a car? I'm not sure, but I heard something, it was like a week ago or something, and it was about a man and a woman that had somehow passed away, and I was almost positive that there was a connection to the church there, but I can't find it now. I got to go back and find where I seen it at. This was today. Well, I ain't heard about him finding a body in a car. Are you talking about the same case? Are you talking about the same case, Catlin? Yeah, I haven't heard about that. Not to speak ill of the dead, but wasn't she the other woman that broke up the marriage? Yes. Okay, yes, Debbie. It took me a minute to get what you were saying, but absolutely. Absolutely. She actually babysat for John Paul and his first wife. She babysat for them. JP's church. Yeah, absolutely. He did groom her. He absolutely did groom her, in my opinion. She was young. He had, oh my gosh, years of being around her and putting things into her head, and I think it was sad what he ended up. Well, I think it was very sad what ended up transpiring in that situation. Completely. Yeah, that's one case I'll always have in my mind is Micah Miller. And I think people do want it, and it's not, like I said, it's not necessarily that he I forgot what I was going to say. Let's see if I can pull this article up real quick. He said, I was the best husband I could possibly be. Oh, I bet you were. Oh, this is an interview he gave.
I don't think I could have done any better. And so because of that, in the midst of all this war and chaos, I have great
Wow, I just happened to find this. Micah's family declined. Okay, I want the whole interview. This is John Paul spinning his web. What? Oh. See, they're saying Micah was healthy.
I've been asked first why I spoke that Sunday morning, why I would get up and preach after my wife passed away the night before, or the day before. And I don't know if anyone has ever taken any psychology classes.
Yeah, eBay.
That could help me understand exactly what I should have done. You know, you spend 7 years trying to keep somebody alive with medicine, and their family convinces them to stop taking the medicine.
He's talking about Micah.
You spend 3 months every single
and her
day
family.
for 3 months doing whatever you can to keep her alive, whether it's going to family, friends, her pastor, her counselor, policemen, judges, doctors. I did everything I could, lawyers, whatever I could to get her medicine and help her.
Hey, Jamie, I'll pull it up
and,
here in a minute. I'll see if I can find
take
it.
The medicine because her family didn't want her to. And so in that moment when I got the phone call, it was late Saturday night. I felt like the world's biggest failure. My life is, as I knew it was over completely, and my worst fear had come upon me. And 10 hours later, I was supposed to preach, and I didn't know what the right thing to do was. I didn't know if I stay at home, I might kill myself. If I sit at home by myself, I might be depressed. If I go off with a friend, what do I do? Do I go to a bar and drink? I don't know. Do I get on my knees and pray to God? You know, like, what exactly am I supposed to do? And so I went with my natural instinct was just
found this unbelievable sequin dress on eBay from a seller who's probably a Vegas showgirl. So many good deals. Had to get these vintage just.
Didn't he go to a bar and drink? Okay, this is what they said, right? Okay, I gotta get through this freaking commercial. Come on, commercial. Okay, so listen to this, y'all. John Paul, he did go have a drink. There's another one. This story goes deep. The story goes deep. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. So, John Paul was said to have been kind of hooking up with this woman from the church whose husband was a paraplegic, and John Paul was their friends, and the guy ends up, this is the story, Scout's Honor, this is the story. The guy where him and his wife lived, they had a swimming pool, I guess. And the guy's in an electric wheelchair. And somehow he ends up at the bottom of the pool in his electric wheelchair. Yeah. And it was said that her and Mr. Miller were pretty close. That's what they said anyway. For real. For real.
Do that with all of her heart. And so I just went with what was natural, and I preached. And at the end, I made the announcement. I don't know the right way to make an announcement like that. I don't know what you're supposed to say, what you're not supposed to say. If I could go back and do it again, I guess I would have asked more people how I should announce it. I said what I said because I didn't want anyone to speak negatively about her or anything in my presence. That's the reason I told them to please be quiet. Go talk to Jesus about it, and then, process it with Jesus, and then discuss it. Because usually our first instinct on things isn't the best.
You're a preacher. You're saying that your people were going to talk bad about Micah, and you didn't want that to happen. Go check out his sermon if you guys want.
Thing she said to me was, she says, I want to come home, but my family.
Just found this unbelievable
sequence. Damn it. Sorry, guys. A lot of commercials. Yeah, the fisherman. The fisherman heard the shot. But I will definitely give John Paul Miller the Weirdo Award. Really weird. All right. He got up and preached to the church members about her taking her own life. It was not good. It really wasn't good, in my opinion.
Maybe you can come home.
Oh, yeah, the new believers, yeah.
If I take my medicine, my dad will be disappointed in me. I said, baby, who cares about any of them? What do you think God wants you to do? And when I said that, she showed me this book she was reading called I Love Jesus, But I Want to Die. And I said to her, why do you want to die? She said, I want to die because I can't come home, sleep in my bed. And she said, I want to do that. And being away makes me want to die.
I want to know. Okay, wait. Okay, wait.
It's in her mind.
Sorry.
But her mood changes. It's a very unusual thing with schizophrenia, bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 altogether. And so when she gets to this point of like suicidal, she gets to a euphoric state and thinks, well, this is a great idea. That's why, if you look at the Dick's Pawn Shop video, she's smiling. So if it's if it helps anyone with, thinking she was hurt or depressed or this was her only way out, that was.
Just found this unbelievable sequin dress on eBay from a seller who's probably a Vegas showgirl. So many good deals. Had to get these vintage discounts.
Come the fuck on. I'm sorry, I didn't know there was so many fucking commercials to it. I mean, I don't care on using their stuff, but it's like, dude. Get eBay.
In the euphoric state thinking, this is what I'm supposed to do. It's a great idea. It's a good thing. And that's why when she called 911, it sounded like she was ordering a pizza because she wasn't, in great fear or torment or I'm so depressed and all these kind of things. So my thought is a few weeks before when we got together and she was talking about how she wanted to die because she can't come home because her family won't let her. That mindset, I believe, stayed with her until her schizophrenia, kicked in and said, well, you should just, harm yourself.
Did he just say that her family? Yeah, he blamed a lot of stuff on her family. Pastors like this guy will be held in judgment strongly for how they lead their parishioners. Hold on, you guys. I've got to get rid of some of these tabs really quick. I do have a couple important things I do want to talk about. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's me. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me pull up where did you hear where was it said that there was a body found on the church property? I'll get it. Oh, let me see if I can find it. 2 hours ago. Let's see what we got. Let me see what this says. Let me pull this article up real quick. They're saying this was just from 2 hours ago. This is an article from Eyewitness News 3. And they are saying that that it's linked to Micah. Harvey, who is that? I know who you're talking about, Catlin. I just can't remember either the channel name. Okay, it says federal authorities were at the home of a pastor linked to the investigation into his estranged wife's death. FBI spokesperson Kevin Wheeler confirmed they are doing an authorized search at the home of John Paul Miller on Coldwater Circle in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. He is the pastor of Solid Rock Church in Myrtle Beach. So, okay, but did the FBI actually say it was because of Micah? Micah was found on April 27th at Lumber River State Park in Orem, North Carolina. After the 911 call, they found a body in the water. Earlier that day, don't forget, Micah called 911 herself. Micah called 911 herself and asked if her phone could be located, and told the 911 operator that she was going to alive herself and wanted her family to be able to find her. And they did locate where she was, because when the reason they found her so quickly was because a guy that was out there fishing heard the shot. And boy, he got drug over the coals. TMZ. No, I don't think she's talking about TMZ, Poppy. I think she's probably talking about a YouTuber.
Yeah, they just sit there and go through yourself and do everything remotely.
I could be wrong, though. Okay, so I want to move on. How long have I've been on here? Almost an hour. There's a couple other things I want to talk about, too. Let's see. We'll listen to this and see what it says. I don't know if it's anything new.
Unless you like to pay more on your tools and hardware, lawn and garden, and automotive.
Oh, shit. Wait. Okay.
Okay, awesome. That's what we're sending to you right now.
Yeah, but what would they be looking for that had to do with Micah? What would they be looking for that would have to do with Micah? Robbie Harvey. Oh, yeah, JLR probably did too. Yeah, JLR's on it. JLR, he is on it. For real. Yeah. This is going to be interesting. So, what I'll do a live, just on Micah and John Paul, and show you guys, some older stuff from the beginning. Well, I just hope that, that the protesters, keep protesting in the right way. And I think they're doing a great thing by being out there. And I think it just comes down to even if he didn't do it himself, the things that have come out, kind of indicates to a lot of people that for real. You know what I mean? I didn't even finish the sentence, and you guys know what I mean. For real. So, we will, let's, wait a minute. We will finish listening to what he said. I won't do that to you guys. We will finish listening, to this crock of crap, in my opinion. This is John Paul Miller, Micah's, ex-husband.
And that's what happened.
What professional treatment was Micah receiving for her mental health?
On February the 6th, 5th or 6th, we were madly in love, and she left me voicemails of how much she loves me. I'm the greatest husband in the world. She went to her doctor's office, and her doctor called me and said she's having a schizophrenic episode. You need to get her to the hospital. And I said, I can't. She won't go with me. And the doctor said, well, I'm going to call the sheriff and have them pick her up. And she filled out this paperwork that says she's suing.
Welcome to Wabash County in Indiana. A welcome.
Okay. So she's texting him saying how much she loves him, and she goes to the doctor, and all of a sudden she's having a psychotic episode. Make that make sense, maybe? And he tries to. You better believe he tries.
Delusional, psychotic. And I sent it to her family, and I said, hey, she's sick and she needs to go to the hospital like she has many times before. Why don't y'all, just pray with her over the phone, maybe come give her a hug right before they pick her up, something like that.
Was there any physical abuse in your relationship with Micah?
Oh, the question is, did I ever hit or harm Micah? So not once, ever in any way was she harmed by me or hit by me. Ever. One time in Disneyland, I think I knocked a drink that she was holding off, but that's the closest we ever come. Now, when she's off her meds, she's knocked the crap out of me a few times. Chipped my tooth, busted my nose, hit me so hard in my ear it rang for 6 hours and I lost hearing. But that's when she's off meds. That's when, and you just take care. It's like an autistic child. When someone you love can't control themselves, you don't really know what to do. Do you hug them really hard and prevent them from moving their hands? Do you run?
It's like 50,000 heartbeats just pounding in unison.
In the other room, for me, I would just kind of run away. I'd leave the house, or I'd go lock myself in a room and try to talk talk her into understanding what's going on and who I am. And she has never been harmed by me in any way, ever at all. She's only been loved and cared for, I think, better than any man on earth could have ever loved and cared for a woman. The goal is for her to take her medicine, and the goal is also to prevent her from getting a gun. And so having the tracker by the PI was like, it could help us prevent the gun, but if she keeps getting upset, so she's not going to trust us and take her medicine. And so we didn't know what to do. And so I was just encouraged by my spiritual advisor to stop doing the private eye.
Very interesting.
I was finding her following me a lot before she passed. And I would videotape different times. I was at a gas station once, and I look over, and she's driving.
Welcome to Wabash County in Indiana, a welcoming community where you can find the...
It was shown, the police reports are out there. He put a tracker on her car. He was surveilling her. He was doing that to Micah. Absolutely was. So,
videotaping me and stuff, and she would think two things that there are many things, but two things that were always consistent whenever she came off from meds is she would use the word paper trail,
stuff she wrote down.
And she would use the word double agent, and she would think that I was a double agent from England many times, and she would need a paper trail to prove who she is and to prove who I am.
Wow.
Micah's death took off like it did nationally on social media because America, at least most of America, the ones that have the loudest voices are usually people like that like Jerry Springer show. And Micah's family is the epitome of the Jerry Springer show.
Oh my God.
The people who were saying justice for Micah are raising money for the people who caused Micah's death. They're using the money to sue the man who kept her alive for 7 years.
Another Progressive home and auto bundle fully protected from the unexpected.
Wait, this is an interview I freaking completely forgot about. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry there's so many commercials. I will try to find it in its entirety.
This church. I don't even get that. I don't understand it. I need somebody to explain that to me. All I can think of is there's evil in the world. That's all. That's the only answer I have is that Satan.
We're looking at it, brother. In my opinion. In my opinion, there's the church.
One thing I have great peace about.
I think some people see the devil. I'm just saying.
Possibly be, and if I went to do it over again, I don't think I could have done any better. And so because of that, in the midst of all this war and chaos, I have great peace in that area.
Regina Ward, the Francis family attorney, said, "This is John Paul spinning his web." Wow.
I've been asked first why I spoke that Sunday morning, why I would get up and preach after my wife passed away the night before or the day before. And I don't know if anyone has ever taken any psychology classes.
At Honest, we know that touch is your...
I got to find this somewhere else. We're going to watch this. We're going to watch this. I'm going to find it so there's not a whole lot of commercials. I will find it. Believe me. It's driving me crazy watching it with all these freaking commercials.
What I should have done. You know, you spend 7 years trying to keep somebody alive with medicine, and their family convinces them to stop taking the medicine. And so then you spend 3 months every single day for 3 months doing whatever you can to keep her alive, whether it's going to family, friends, her pastor, her counselor, policemen, judges, doctors. I did everything I could, lawyers, whatever I could to get her medicine and help her take it. And she would not take her medicine because her family didn't want her to. And so in that moment when I got the phone call, it was late Saturday night. I felt like the world's biggest failure. My life is, as I knew it was over completely, and my worst fear had come upon me. And 10 hours later, I was supposed to preach, and I didn't know what the right thing to do was. I didn't know if I stay at home,
I backed
might
it
kill
up a little
myself.
bit, you guys.
Sit at home by myself, I might be depressed. If I go off with a friend, what do I do? Do I go to a bar and drink? I don't know. Do I get on my knees and pray to God? You know, like what exactly am I supposed to do? And so I went with my natural instinct was just.
Welcome to Wabash County in Indiana.
I'm not watching that no more. I will find it and we'll watch the whole thing. I promise. I promise, but I can't do it anymore, y'all. Drive me fucking crazy. It's driving me crazy. Okay, I'm gonna keep it up, but I'll find it. Stop, John Paul, right there. Don't say another freaking word, mister. I am gonna find you. So if they're looking for what could they be looking for? What do they think he would have kept? What would he even have kept that they can use against him? That's interesting. Do you guys know that he also hooked up with a TikToker? There was a video of or pictures him and this female TikToker on the beach somewhere. They were on the beach or something. Oh, is Google being... Rumor has it Micah new stuff, financial stuff. Yes. Okay. I'm going to do it because I want you guys to see this. This is so... hold on. Let me get into my Facebook. I will look at my messages, I promise. I will never forget this. And it's, I just, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find the video I'm talking about. Oh no, did they make it private? I want the video where, it's pretty far back. I gotta find this stuff, you guys. I don't want to sit here and... You, hey, I think I know, you were talking about Robbie Harvey, right? Oh, I got it right here. Oh my God. This is heartbreaking. I hope it's the whole thing. Hold on, you guys. Hold on a minute. Oh, I found it. Here we go, you guys. This is the video that she did. Listen to what she says. It's so important. It is so important. It was heartbreaking. It is very, very heartbreaking.
So today my heart's a little heavy. I've had a lot of women that have reached out to me about situations of abuse. And I just want to tell you what a lot of people have told me lately.
Trigger warning.
And reminded me because I think I forgot. I knew, but I pushed it in the back of my head just because of my situation. But you are the bride of Christ. before anybody else's bride, male or female, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Abuse is abuse. And you are the bride of Christ. And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you so that you didn't have to live that life of slavery and bondage and pain. Jesus took it all for you. So you don't have to stay in a abusive relationship, whether that's sexual, whether that's somebody forcing you to take illegal drugs or alcohol abuse or physical abuse, psychological abuse, making you think that this is all your fault, or you're a bad mom, or you're a bad wife, or you're a bad husband, or you're not giving it your all when you know you are. God hates divorce, but why? According to everybody I've asked and the scriptures that I've found, it's because it hurts people. But does abuse hurt people? How do you think God feels about that? So I want to remind you, like a bunch of people have been reminding me lately, that I'm God's bride first. And even an earthly spouse who's a good spouse, when they know that their bride is being hurt, just imagine what an earthly spouse does. What do you think your heavenly spouse does when you're the bride of Christ and he sees his bride going through abuse and hurt? What do you think he thinks about that?
Whoa.
So, encouragement in all this is you are the bride of Christ first before anybody else's. And he's got you.
So basically, what she's saying is, earthly husband, I am the bride of Christ, and you're supposed to be a man of God. And I don't think he's going to be very happy with you. That's what she's saying. A lot of people think that she's telling her story. It's so sad. It's sad.
He sees you. And he loves you.
Wow. Wow. She was beautiful. Hey, Island Girl. Well, with this situation, Katie Ann, she did try many times to get away from him. She tried a lot to get away from him. There's so much to this. There's just so much to the Micah Miller case. So much. You get into the church and you know, and John Paul Miller. So sad. Yeah, I would have to see where JLR and them found where it said there was a body found in the thingamabob. Give me 1 sec, guys. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay. I will check into the body being found. And I'll talk about Micah a little bit tomorrow. Get an update on what's going on. I will do that. Okay, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Trigger warning. There was a pregnant teenager who passed away after trying to get care in 3 visits to Texas emergency rooms. It took 3 ER visits and 20 hours before a hospital admitted Neve Crane, 18. Hang on a second. Yep, we're switching it up, Island Girl. It's 4:20 time. Feel free. So she was 18. And after the 3rd hospital, the doctor insisted on 2 ultrasounds to confirm fetal demise. She's one of at least 2 women, 2 Texas women, who have passed away under the state's abortion ban. Okay? And I don't want to get real political on this one. I know that we all have our own opinions about that. This is about what happened to Nevaeh Crane. So, wow. She is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's the story. Trigger warning, you guys. You know how we switch stuff up around here. Candace Fales screamed for someone in the Texas hospital to help her pregnant daughter. Do something, she pleaded. Nevaeh Crane was crying in pain, too weak to walk, blood staining her thighs, feverish and vomiting the day of her baby shower. The 18-year-old had gone to 2 different emergency rooms within 12 hours, returning home each time worse than before. Wow. The first hospital diagnosed her with strep throat without investigating her sharp abdominal cramps. At the second, she screened positive for sepsis. Anybody that knows about any type of nursing knows what that is. Wow. She screened positive for sepsis, which is a life-threatening and fast-moving reaction to an infection, medical records show. But doctors said her 6-month fetus had a heartbeat and that Crane was fine to leave. So she has strep throat. The second one, she tested positive for sepsis. But they said that her 6-month fetus had a heartbeat. Now, on the 3rd hospital visit, an obstetrician insisted on 2 ultrasounds to confirm fetal demise before moving her to intensive care. By then, more than 2 hours after her arrival, her blood pressure had plummeted, and a nurse noted that her lips were blue and dusky. Her organs started failing. Poor girl. Within hours, she was unalive. The mother who had seen her daughter, who would have turned 2 the following Friday, cannot understand why her daughter's emergency was not treated like an emergency. But that is what many pregnant women are now facing in states with strict abortion bans. Wow. She was so young. Why are they doing this? They were having a baby shower. It wasn't like they didn't want the baby. And her being that young, that's crazy. All right, so Texas, now this is Texas, okay? I'm not getting political. I'm not. Maybe a little bit, but I'm not. Texas abortion ban threatens prison time for interventions that end a fetal heartbeat. Whether the pregnancy is wanted or not. It includes exceptions for life-threatening conditions, but still doctors told the ProPublica that confusion and fear about the potential legal repercussions are changing the way their colleagues treat pregnant patients with complications. This is definitely happening in other states as well, and yes, it is, Island Girl. Yeah, sepsis is very dangerous. And you have to remember the baby wasn't viable. And I mean, at that point, I'm sure they didn't even know how long the baby had not been alive in her, you know? In states with the abortion ban, such patients are sometimes bounced between hospitals like hot potatoes, with healthcare providers reluctant to participate in treatment that could attract a prosecutor. In some cases, medical teams are wasting precious time debating legalities and creating documentation, preparing for the possibility that they'll need to explain their actions to a jury and judge. Okay. That's sad. That's sad. There is a federal law to prevent emergency room doctors from withholding life-saving care. What? I didn't know that. There is a federal law to prevent emergency room doctors from withholding life-saving care. Passed nearly 4 decades ago, it requires emergency rooms to stabilize patients in medical crisis. The Biden administration argues this mandate applies even in cases where an abortion might be necessary. Wow. So, no state has done more to fight this interpretation than Texas, which has warned doctors that its abortion ban supersedes the administration's guidance on federal law and that they can face up to 99 years in prison for violating it. Is this kind of going over everybody's head? Okay, so basically this is Texas. Matthew McConaughey. Come talk to me about this. Wow. That's crazy. Wow. So I would have thought if the hospital drew blood at the first hospital that they would have seen that she had an infection. For real. So this is interesting because they talk about this being a big problem on how a lot of women are, basically having medical issues where they do not survive it. Okay, so they don't know for certain that her death could have been prevented. They said it may have been possible to save both the teenager and her fetus if she had been admitted earlier for close monitoring and continuous treatment. So there was a chance that, she possibly could have been saved and the baby saved. They said if she would have needed an early delivery, the hospital was well equipped to care for a baby on the edge of viability. Then, that infection overtook her body very quickly. Very quickly. That's sad. Of course, the hospitals aren't going to comment on it. This is her as a little girl with her mom. How sad is that? I mean, she might have been a young mother, but the thing about it is, if you have the support of your family, I mean, they were getting ready, they were going to do a baby shower. That doesn't say to me that they possibly wouldn't have wanted a baby. Yep. I know. I do know that this is a article used for political reasons. Thank you for pointing that out, Debbie. Thanks a lot, ho. Thanks a lot, ho. You know I don't cover politics over here. You know I don't cover politics, Debbie. Debbie busting my shit out. Thanks, Deb. I wasn't talking politics. But I would say it's probably happening, and it is happening. It's sad. It is sad. Okay. Well, you know, John Paul, unfortunately, I'm going to have to give you your own special live. How long I've been on here? Okay. All right, you guys want one more story? I'm going to leave it up to you. I got a couple, but I got a really interesting one. They would have just done it or not. They would have found my... Yeah, my daughter, she gets kidney stones all the time. She just had to go get one zapped. They lasered it and blew it to smithereens. That's exactly what they did. Okay, so we got John Paul Miller going on, and I'll check into the body in the car on that. And don't forget, you guys, you can always pull that video up. Just go to Micah Miller on the Facebook and just scroll down and you'll find it on there. It's actually, you know, there a couple different times. I think it's just a really, you know, it's fascinating. Yeah, proper testing, yeah. For real. All right. This is a weird story, okay? And we are sending prayers to this young girl's family, especially her mother. How heartbreaking. How heartbreaking. All right. Got one more. Do you guys remember? I don't know. I know I covered this on my page or on my channel. And I think it was like a story that I just talked about and everybody blew it off. But that's okay. But this chick was offered $9 million by this man online to unalive her best friend, and she did it. She flippin' did it. She did it. Okay, so this is 5 years later. She was sentenced to 99 years in prison after being convicted of unaliving Cynthahoffman. Lord have mercy. It was a game of catfish being played both ways, and it wound up deadly. The story of convicted murderer denalibrehmer is the focus of the latest episode of Court TV's Interview with the Killer. Absolutely check that out, you guys. Court TV Interview with the Killer. It's pretty fascinating. I'll have to pull it up and watch it. Watch this. Okay. Anyhow, featuring the first in-depth sit-down interview with the Alaska woman who shot and unalived her friend on a hike after forming an online relationship with an Indiana man who convinced her he was rich and willing to pay her $9 million to murder a person of her choosing. First red flag, he's from Indiana. We ain't got very many rich people here. Okay, so this Indiana man is convincing her, I'll give you $9 million. Unalive whoever you want. Okay, it's a new episode titled "Catfishing for Murder." Okay, I'm giving you a bunch of shout outs here, Court TV. Okay. The new episode titled "Catfishing for Murder" airs at 8 on Sunday, November 3rd, and includes exclusive new interviews with Brehmer, now 23. Wow, she was really young. She was young. If it happened 5 years ago, she was what, about 18, 17? Okay, so she got 99 years in prison. Brehmer carried out the unaliving after Darren Schillmiller, a 21-year-old Indiana man living in his grandparents' basement, catfished her online and solicited the murder of Hoffman from Brehmer in Anchorage. She was that naive? Should we look at the sneak peek? No, I'll wait until they get it out and then I'll show it to you guys. Okay. Well, that's going to be interesting. They feel, through a deep dive in the case, that Brehmer was no naive, unwitting victim of a bad online influence. Wow. It's not clear to me who was the predator and who was the prey in this case of catfishing. That's interesting. So there's two. You can either look at it as she was being catfished, or maybe she was a catfishing herself. Someone lifted memberships on a hate channel. As the bullhorn says, and Tony and Nick got one. They were hiding in the bushes. What? Someone lifted memberships on the hate channel. Oh, listed. Okay. Well, that's so sweet that they got memberships. Why didn't they already have memberships? Oh, you mean a hate channel. I get you. Well, they were hiding in the bushes. Now they don't have to hide in the bushes no more. I wouldn't be hiding in the bushes. So they don't know which one catfished which one the most. But the thing we got to remember is she did it to her friend. They're saying that an Alaska man, Caden McIntosh, and Caleb Leyland were convicted for helping her carry out the red rum. They were both convicted of second-degree red rum. Wow. Okay, so she tells this this guy that herself and Leyland and McIntosh took Hoffman hiking the day she was red rum was merely a place of opportunity for them to carry out the killing. Wow. She said, initially we all come up with it. I agreed and said, yeah, because I was mad at her and she was mad at me and I was just over her shit. She was referencing a fallout that they had over another man named Zach. She said, I wanted to make amends. I did want to make amends, but she needed payback for what she did with Zach. So whatever she did with Zach, this Bremer is saying she needed payback for that. So you unalive her? She says the killing's on me. She goes back and forth about whether she wanted to unalive her friend or simply put a scare into her. Well, ma'am, I think you did more than put a scare into her. The victim's family said she had a learning disability and functioned at a younger developmental age than 19. The little girl's father said his daughter considered Bremer her best friend after they met in high school. Lord. Well, when is that on? When is that on, I wonder? That's interesting. Sebastian was catfished? I think so. For some reason, I think so. You know, that's like Seth. I have different, I don't just pick one way I feel about Seth. I think Seth loves his son, and I think that it is scary for him that Sebastian's missing, and he does want to find Sebastian. But there's a but to that. He just wanted control over everything. And it's okay if he wants to have control of his little team of people. That's all good. But with situations like that, you got to be careful, because why would you even possibly do something that could hurt actually finding your son? I mean, just the silly stuff going on. I don't think that I just got so much to say about that. I don't think that, this is just my opinion, that any of this going on with the keep your mouth shut and whatever, that has nothing to do with Sebastian and people talking about Sebastian. That has to do more, in my opinion, with all of this court stuff, right? I mean, Queen Bee told us that Betty is just keeping her in court with paperwork. I believe that's what she said. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. But I believe that's what she said. So what do we see happening with Betty? Right? She pulling out the paperwork. And she getting a big name on there with her this time. Is it possible? Why would the daughters not pick up? I don't know. I do not know the answer to that, but I don't know if that's factual, though. Betty's last wife claims she fired her tennis. Oh, why did she do that? Why would she do that? You know what that does? Do you know what? If you have a lawyer, right, and you're getting ready to go to court, and you fire that lawyer, I believe that the judge has to allow it, right? Anybody that it really knows about law, when a person fires their lawyer, doesn't it have to be approved from the judge first? Ro, where were you? I've been calling for you. Well, I hadn't. I was at the beginning, but hold on, and I'll let you come up here and tell me why you call us my name. She trusts no one from Tennessee. Okay, so if she fires her lawyer and she's got court on what, the 10th? Yes, thank you, Be the Bean. It can be postponed. it can be postponed. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I kind of, it's just my opinion about Betty. She kind of paranoid. She seems kind of paranoid a lot. Somebody's always out to get her. Somebody's always trying to make Betty's life miserable. Why would people do that? Poor Betty. Poor Betty. Okay. So, oh my gosh. I'm kind of excited. The court TV's following this case. I'm going to be watching court TV. It's fascinating. Betty postponing wearing orange. She'd be out protesting it next. I think that they should let her come out in her orange jumpsuit and protest. Oh. Well, I wonder what your punishment could be. Maybe they, you never know. Some of these judges think up all these wild things. So maybe, they might be like, yeah, protest work release. Yeah. Yeah, I bet they would let her out in her little orange jumpsuit with a sign. We don't need work release. We don't need it now. Or whatever she would say. I don't know. Betty's a trip. A tripola. Okay, Ro. What are you doing? Can you come up here for a minute? Or do you want to tell me why you tagged my name somewhere? You calleth my name, Ro. Tis the season for orange, absolutely. Yes. Okay. What have I done? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do now? What did I do now? I'm always into something, damn it. The tag? Yeah, the tag. What was the tag about? That's what I want to know. The tag. Why? What is it? What the fuck is it, Debbie? Have you seen it? I just seen it in my comments. I did not get to see it. What is going on, Ro?
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good. I know you told me not to tag you in things, but this one kind of like I had to, because if you can think back to your live where you were going to give psychiatrist bills out.
I've said that in quite a few of my lives.
Well, that was the title. It was the one that you and I were supposed to do, Maddie, but Andrew and Lips and all them were there.
Oh, it went sideways, yeah.
Yeah. Well, throughout the course of that, me and Lips kept going back and forth because of the information that I disclosed about the baby. And I said, repeat files.
Yeah, you don't know how to tag somebody.
You're damn right. I don't. I don't need to yell. I'm not yelling at you, but none of what they are saying is the truth. What I posted is state official sealed shit. They even did a live to
Yeah,
to
but
prove that he did not beat that kid up, that the kid was 17. They did a whole hour live lying about the fact that he beat a 14-year-old kid up. There's 4 witness statements. There's a police statement. He has been told by judges over 32 times, do not drink anymore. He's still drinking. And like, I would have known none of this shit if she did not do all that grimy shit to me and keep doing it. And Tina Pina is her. And if, she considers leaving me alone, all those videos.
I don't watch Tina Pina
Mhm.
very often, but
Mhm.
this is what I don't understand. If you're pissed off of her, why are you bringing people that she knows into it?
No, she ran to everybody, including Andrew. She went on Andrew's panel, her and Lipson. They haven't been doing that. If you're really bored, go sit and watch the last 3 or 4 months of her and Andrew and what they talk about every day.
This is the thing I tell you, Ro. I mean,
So
you
I'm
do.
supposed to just accept that fucking grifters are calling me a fucking drug addict, saying my dead kids do drugs and that they should have killed themselves, Romaine?
No, I totally agree with you there. I
Thank you.
know that
Thank
is
you.
heartbreaking.
It's beyond. And it's every fucking day, and I'm tired of it, by 2 pieces of shit who think it's totally. She said it was acceptable that her husband was a rapist because the girl was she was 18 years old. That makes it fine. He beats up a 14-year-old kid, and he's drunk, puts another kid in his truck, takes off from the scene, and they're going to try to say that because there's an article that I know somebody who did something in the past somehow has something to do with me for 4 fucking months. They keep reading the same article. That has nothing to do with me, saying it's me, but what has to do with him isn't him. And it's quite recent. The dude's got charges up until 2017.
Well, you know what though, Ro? You put the facts out there so people can make their own judgment on any of that.
Right.
They can make their own judgment on any of that.
Right. And what's the first thing she's got to do is say something about my kids. My kids were not on drugs. My son got fucking
the
shot.
thing about it is that is a continuous.
What drug results in a bullet wound through your skull? I'll wait.
What, are you waiting for me to respond?
Somebody make it make sense. What drug results in a bullet hole in your head? And if you had a child who had a bullet hole in his head, would you want to hear some scumbags talking about your kid every fucking day? No, I don't think anybody would.
I understand that, but I'll feel the same way about this forever. You need to quit even watching any of that.
No, I'm not going to quit doing what I do because some grifter dirtbags want to keep fucking with me.
Okay, you just answered the question. You ain't going to quit doing anything, and they're not going to quit doing anything. You tell me that every time, but it's always something new. I mean, it's always something.
Because they don't.
I'm not trying to be mean to you, Ro. I'm serious.
Okay. If you hadn't made a comment to anybody in 3 or 4 weeks, you've done multiple lives that had nothing to do with them, and there's video after video after video calling you a fucking prostitute, a drug addict. Your kids should have killed them fucking selves because you're a toxic bitch. He's fucking.
Let me ask. Wait a minute. Let me ask. Is that Mama Bear saying this, or is this a sub?
Yes. It's Mama Bear. And then, to justify why I went back after her old man got on there and told people that I hit on him and he turned me down. That's why I'm salty. Are you fucking serious, dude?
Are you? Come on, that's kind of funny.
I swear to God on my kids. No, it's not funny when your kid's coming up to you asking you if you're sending naked pictures to people and shit like this because these two are fucking saying shit like that. And I never attacked her kid. Her kid still contacts me all the time. I never attacked, and it's not his kid. They're not even legally married.
This is the thing, Ro. I mean, I don't know anything about that, and
I know you don't. I know you
don't. I don't even know what to say.
That you should be not even involved in it, which I agree 100%. Yes.
this is what happens. And like I said, you know that I am not saying something to be mean.
I know,
But
but on the same token,
this is what's
you yell at
happened.
me. You yell at me every time without, you don't know.
Let me finish,
Okay.
lady.
Okay, go ahead.
Because the last couple times that you've come up when we were talking about a specific thing, it's turned into what has been happening and what people have been saying about you, and it's like you want to defend yourself, and we've talked about it many times. I know that you wanted to defend yourself, but you know, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it anymore.
I mean, I have tried multiple times to like end it in multiple ways. It's nothing. Like, her kid has even sent me texts saying exactly about the behavior, and that has always caused problems. I never contacted her kids. And when I did speak to,
this is answer me this: how did you end up having a talking relationship with her kids anyway?
I was sitting on Ghost's panel one afternoon. Stop, puppies! I was sitting on Ghost's panel. I think it was a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon. We were talking about basic bullshit. All of a sudden, there was a guy on the panel, young sounding guy, and was just there all of a sudden, was like, hello. And I'm like, hello. And we just started chit chatting. We talked about sports. We talked about Indian philosophy. We talked about like just really weird shit. Andrew came up. We continued the conversation between the three of us. Ghost then says to me, Tina, that's Bubba. I said, what? Bubba, Mama Bear's kid. I said, oh, hey. He goes, well, I've been watching the stuff because, somebody had him in fear that people were coming to his house and, this, that, and the other thing, and calling typhus and da-da-da-da-da. So he sat back and he watched a bunch of lives, and he did not see what was being conveyed to him as all these threats towards him and his family. So he decided that he was going to come up and talk to us, where he sat and he talked to me and Andrew for about 3 or 4 hours. Nobody dogged her. Matter of fact, for the most part of the conversation, we did not even discuss her, except for at one point, I did say she's probably going to see this and she's not going to be happy. Well, she turned it into,
well, yeah, but if it wasn't a big deal, why would you make the comment she's going to see this and not be happy?
Because
why would that make her unhappy?
Because if it was my child sitting there talking to somebody that I was warring with, I would have an attitude about it. Like, why are you over there talking to her, blah-de-da? Like,
And you didn't think that you having behind-the-scene conversations with her kids
this
wasn't
was
going to bother
on a lie. This was not behind the scenes, remain calm.
You wasn't talking to, you never talked to any of her kids behind the scenes.
Her son has texted me a couple times in the last 3 weeks, but before that, primarily no. Except for her daughter was in a Facebook group thing, but I got added to that group. It was Lips, Ghosts, Taylor, Chrissy, and me. So no, it wasn't like I was talking to her daughter personally behind any scenes. And I've already posted the screenshots. I said very minimum in there and never mentioned her mother. But every day,
wait. We'll have to do a part 2 of this because I am freaking lost. I've been on here 3 hours row. I got to get off here.
And I did not want to call.
I hope y'all figure it out, because the problem that I see too is it's not just what's going on between you and Mama Bear. It's just a problem with. I don't know.
Sorry.
But I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming up. I hope everything works out for you. I really do. So, yeah, good luck to you guys, for real. Okay. Woo. All right. I'm getting off here. I've been on here 3 hours. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. My brain just went into freaking the Twilight Zone. for the fear this is the thing. And I really don't mind people coming up and talking about issues that they have with each other. But the problem is this other person gets named, and this other person gets named, and this other person gets named. And I do not, even though I'm a hoe, I don't know these people that are being brought into the conversation. So I always like to put that out there, because Remain Calm ain't talking shit about nobody, and I damn sure ain't gonna talk shit about nobody that I don't know, for real. So, but it was good to come up, talk about a few situations. Tomorrow, the conversation is going to be John Paul Miller. I'm going to find out if they found a body in a car. We will talk about that. So, yeah, I'm getting off here. Thank you, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. Do you? Oh, let me peace out. Peace, y'all. Thank you. Thank you.